Hey guys, welcome to Road to Pro episode 6. I'm going to get right into the loots here in this episode. Starting off, my new most expensive drop, Torva Plate Legs 34mm split it next. Definitely a nice surprise. Next off was a 7.6mm split of Virtus Robe Legs, which is a bit disappointing when you just had Torva Plate Legs, but I can't complain because, you know, it's money, and yeah, it's a good amount of money. Next we went to Kalphite King for the first time, and we got a 17mm Drygor Rapier split, and this was really nice because we had Kalphite King before when we weren't as good, and we never got anything, so it was nice to get a drop. And then we got another Rapier just a couple kills later, so we made like 34mm in about an hour, which is absolutely great, because now we have two bosses to do, Nex and Kalphite King, for when we get bored of the other. Then we went back to Nex and got a nice 4.3mm Virtus Boots split, which I think they should just take Virtus Boots and Pernix Boots and gloves and all that. Just get them out of the game. They're just kind of like troll drops almost, because you feel like you won't get another drop on the trip. And then we got an offhand Drygor Rapier. It's a 10mm split, but it ended up being 7 because some of my friends died and we had to split with them. So that's all my loot. A nice amount of money made. And it helped me make a lot of progress and buy a lot of stuff. So next I decided to focus on doing questing, and I started by doing the Void Stairs back because it's a Grandmaster quest and I really wanted some Elite Void, which I found to be useless after I got it. But anyways, it was a fun quest. It wasn't too hard, there wasn't too many puzzles, and it wasn't too long. The boss fight was way too easy, and I was a bit disappointed that it had to be so easy, because like here I just soul split the whole thing. I wish I would have done it back in the day when it was harder, because this really is just kind of a joke. I really think Jagex needs to like buff all the quest bosses, but it was still fun. It's nice because if you use backhand, it brings out the old Karasi special attack, and while it doesn't really have like the huge ability like it did before where it just would hit a ton, it's just a stun, and it's just like a basic hit. But I got the kill done very quickly just using soul split, and it was a good quest to do, and I got a nice reward, Karasi sword, which is completely useless for me, and a Void Knight top, which makes me regret buying a Void top to begin with. So I'll be focusing on getting some Elite Void helms and bottoms, or no, not helms because they don't have helms, just getting the Elite Void legs when I can and when I get time and when I find a need for it. But other than that, another quest done, which helps me get more quest points for Wall Gothic Sleeps, and it was a fun quest like I said before, and I'm glad I did it. So I decided to do a couple more quests after the Void Stairs back, and the first one I did was Swansong, and all these quests are mainly done for quest points because I need 270 for Wall Gothic Sleeps. But Swansong was also a requirement for Wall Gothic Sleep, so it was nice to get it done. Other than that, it had no purpose for me because like I don't need to fish monkfish or anything. So here's just the quest cutscene, and I really wish I could have the Wise Old Man's hat. But anyways, this is another one of those bosses or another one of those quests where the boss is way too easy. As you can see, I just soul split it, and it literally takes me less than like 30 seconds to kill. And I had that Kaya just so I could teleport there in case you were wondering. But I got 15k magic XP and 10k fishing XP, and that's really the only XP that mattered to me. And 2 quest points, so it was a nice quest to do. And then that also unlocked for me Love Story quest, which is I'm doing here. And I was mad about this quest because for the boss fight I couldn't use Drygor because I was told that you will lose your Drygor if you die, and this was a very frustrating fight because I used dual dragon maces, daggers, which is absolutely terrible, and she teleports all over the place and prays mage, which is a bummer because mage actually works on her. But I did eventually get it done. As you can see, these weapons are absolutely terrible. When you compare them to using Drygor and stuff, it's just ridiculous how much easier it is. And you see when I mage, it takes no time at all to get it done. I probably should have ranged her here. because just her melee just does not work. Just not a fun boss fight. It's one of the fights that was actually somewhat hard. It wasn't hard, but it actually took a while. But this is another one of those that, like, pre-EoC was a tough boss to do, and it was one that would be worth doing, or like people would prepare for and all that stuff because it was hard. But I just soul splitted the whole thing, and I even ran out of prayer, and it didn't matter because I just ate my rock tails and all that good stuff. So it's kind of ridiculous how easy the quest bosses are now. I really wish Jagex would fix that. But after a long time, I finally got it done. As you can see, the fire doesn't even damage you at all. But after the fight, I got 50k XP in construction and magic, 4k in smithing and 40k in smithing and crafting, and then some coins and construction and magic abilities. But for me, it was mainly I could chip house tabs, which I haven't found a use for yet, but they will come in use eventually when I can make Trollheim tabs, which will help when I next and do other God Wars bosses. So once again, more quest points completed. It was a fun quest minus the boss fight, and I'm glad I did it. So lastly, I did some Slayer, and I don't have like hardly any clips of it, and I kind of regret that, but I did a lot of my Slayer at my grandma's house over spring break, so I couldn't take any video or anything of it. But when I got back, I had a Mythical Dragons task, and as you can see, I got a Visage, which means absolutely nothing because it's not worth anything, but it's kind of cool because it's a rare drop, and I had no idea I would get it. Next, I got a Greater Demons task, and I went to Zammy for this, and I got 85 Slayer, which is cool because now I can do Abyssal Demons, as you can see there, and I got no drops here over 350 kill count, so it was very frustrating. And then I got my first Abyssal Demons task, and I got a whip within about 100 kill count. And while this is worth absolutely nothing, it'll look good in the loot tab, and I'm glad I got it because it's like one of the drops that I hadn't gotten before. And Abyssal Demons are a really good task. I also had a QBD task along the way while I was at my grandma's house and couldn't take pictures, and I got so much loot there. I got a Visage and another D-Kite, which will be my third, and I made probably 10 mil in one task of 80 Black Dragons since a new recent update where you can kill QBD for Black Dragons tasks. So if you ever get that, it's a very good task, especially if you have Dragor. For me, I could stay almost 20 kills in one trip because it's so easy with Dragor. So I'll continue doing Slayer, and I'll hopefully be uploading some Slayer guides, maybe even a Slayer series or something. And other than that, that's the end of this episode. Lots of progress, but a short video. I regret that. So I hope you guys enjoyed it, and please like it if you did like it, and I'll see you guys in the next episode.